Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Ham Radio Live.
Slow down on Monday, not a sound. On Wednesday, yeah, might get loud. On Friday, but on Saturday, we paint the town.
21 Pilots here with a song called Saturday. I'm sure we're going to get zapped for copyright for this, but, they'll just remove the song. But it's a great song from last year. 21 Pilots, song is called Saturday. Welcome back to Ham Radio Live.
Catch me floating circles in my fishbowl, keep things fresh. She said that I should change my clothes. I exaggerate the life we used to know. Slow down on Monday, not a sound. On Wednesday, yeah, might get loud. On Friday, but on Saturday, we paint the town. Ooh, you're good. These are my dancing shoes. Paint the town. Ooh, you're good. Thought I would dance with you. Might get loud. On Friday, but on Saturday, we paint the town. Feeling great. Life moves slow on the ocean.
Hi, everybody. Saturday, September 24th, 2022. We're grateful to be with you today. We're going to talk radio teletype in the CQ Worldwide contest, show you a little bit of settings in the 7610. Plus, we're going to talk about maybe the AM contest as well. Amplitude modulation, of course, was the way to transmit voice back in the 40s and 50s. Sideband took over, and then things kind of changed. But there's a great AM contest going on today. Want to bring it to you. Welcome back to the show. Good show today for you, wherever you may be around the world. What do you say we say away we go and start that show? Hi, everybody. Woohoo! Well, to be fair,
And now, a Larry moment.
right off the bat, yeah. Computer restart. Had to get that done because it kept dropping. And then what happened? The first cut, by the way, I'm going to say right away, this is a very important thing. The guy who came in first in the first show is right here, and that is William. Well done, sir. I remembered William, Alpha Delta 8, India Tango. He's been creeping up. He's like number 2, number 2, number 3, number 2, number 2, number 3. And now he did it first time. Well done, William. We're grateful for that. All right. We'd like to help you to get your amateur radio license. If you'd like to contact somebody that can help you find a local club, and that's really important. In fact, Ray Novak from Icom and I had an interview once where Ray said, I think the most important thing for someone interested in getting into amateur radio is to get in with a local amateur radio club. This is how you do it. Contact someone like the American Radio Relay League at www.arrl.org. Hit the Contact Us bar. Let them know you'd like your license and where you live. They'll send you that email with that important amateur radio club close to you. Contact the club. Let them know you'd like to get your license, and they'll help do the rest. www.arrl.org. If you hear from WRMI CQ calling, I'd like to welcome you from the shortwave side of things. Thanks for being here today on a beautiful Saturday. Thanks for coming. If you heard the show, by the way, this week on WRMI, please just reach out to me. Let me know what you heard during that show, and I can send you a shiny orange and blue EQSL card, courtesy of WRMI and CQ Calling. And thanks to Icom, by the way, for sponsoring that show. Yep, absolutely. We also have a show email called CQ, hamradiolive@gmail.com, where you can reach me and ask me questions about the show, possibly some ideas for things you'd like to learn about, hopefully, or understand more, or maybe just ask me a general question. I get lots of that. CQ, hamradiolive@gmail.com. Also, one of the coolest things about doing this has been the Discord page that Jeff and Dirk put together. And it's so good, and I'm so grateful for it. It's called ham-radio-live. Just simply look down in the description section of the video. I'll have a hyperlink where you can click on it and join us. We often talk after the show for a while. Like yesterday, I think there was like 5 or 6 or 7 people, and they're talking for up to 2 hours after the show was over. So please feel free and join us today. Have a topic show question. What's been your greatest accomplishment in radio? Not would it improve amateur radio? That certainly it is not what this is supposed to be about. Gosh, your greatest accomplishment in radio. Let us know and we will make it part of the show. And now it looks even better. Your weather today, powered by Icom. Icom for the love of ham radio. It's a good forecast. A1A looks really good. Remember, we've had a couple of areas starting to creep up on the south part of the sun. Now we've got them coming on the north. This is when things get very interesting because we can get some really high SFIs because of this. Backside of the sun, there's a little squared off area where that new sunspot region is coming on the northern hemisphere of the sun. Last 5 days of geomagnetic activity, here are the sunspots as they revolve from east to west on the front of the sun. And here's what it looks like today. New sunspot region there is 3110. It joins 3107, 3105, 3108, 3109, and 3102 facing Earth right now. The last 3 days of solar flare detection, this is important because it tells us how much activity the sun is producing that affects our ionosphere. When we work HF bands, ionospheric propagation is very important to us in amateur radio. The sun is what makes all of that happen. So the last 3 days we've had very good conditions, almost a few M flares over the last 48 hours. And take a look at this, global D-layer absorption. Right there where, it's a little bit into South America now, the way that the sun is, is moving, you can take a look and see what the D-layer absorption level is for frequencies below 10 megahertz. And now if you notice it even goes in that really like almost turquoise area, which is quite large. It's literally from, around Venezuela all the way into the northern part of Mexico. That's 20 megahertz being attenuated by, maybe 1 dB. That's pretty amazing. Actually, if you go all the way to the 40 meter band, it's being attenuated by 5 dB right now. So that's what we have going on today with your D layer of the ionosphere. Solar indices today, 146, that's up 9. Sunspot number is at 111, it's up 12. Area number is up 70, it's up to 1050. That's a big number, and we've got great conditions your way. Here's the only fly in the ointment. It is the noise floors coming from the KP index, currently at KP3, and right now is the worst day. We'll be maybe a G1 storm today. Tomorrow's going to quiet down, and then on Monday we should have better conditions, maybe S1 to S2 for our noise, noise floors. That'll be it. And right now, you saw earlier today we had a negative 0.147 south pointing BZ latitude, which would mean we would have a lot of fade on the HF bands here in the north. But now the new QRZ has just been released, and that's at a 0-0 even. That's good. There's no negative BZ, and that's really a good thing. So we're starting to go positive, and this is really good news. Again, SFI 146, the sunspot number they're showing there is 128. A index a little high at 12. K is 3. If you want to bounce some signals off the moon, fair conditions for that today. And you get all the way from 80 to 10 meters today. You really do. This is good conditions. Signal to noise levels a bit high, S2 to S3, but good conditions are going on right now around the world. Some amazing calls are being made. If you're up near Alaska right now, 12 megahertz, right in about the U.S.-Canadian border, take a look at that. The 10-meter band is literally right there at the border, 21 around Toronto. And as you head towards the west in Canada, you're all of a sudden on 15 meters and will be on 10 within the hour. It's just going to be an amazing day. Southern California already 30 megahertz. Look at Brownsville, Texas, 32. Panhandle of Florida, 27. New England now 24. Down in South America, 34 in North Brazil, 37 in Sao Paulo. Heading towards the east, you've got Great Britain at 16 megahertz, France at 17, Portugal 22, Italy at 16. The southern part of Greece, about 15 megahertz, and Jerusalem right now at 16 megahertz. Decent conditions. Namibia, where Winans at, about 18 megahertz. And as we head towards the Far East, they're just missing, barely. Take a look at that line right there by Japan. They're just off 14 megahertz, so almost 20 meters open in Japan right now. If you're on the Gold Coast of Australia, you're on 20 meters within about 10 minutes, literally, and then within the hour or so, you'll be all the way on 10 meters. A good day for amateur radio worldwide today. Your forecast today, powered by Icom. Icom for the love of ham radio. SFIs to continue to increase through Sunday. Noise floors, S3 to S4 possibly tonight, S1 to S3 tomorrow. I know S1 to S3 is a little bit of a wide range, range, but we're talking about what tomorrow will be, which should be quieter. So I expect S1, S2, or S3 tomorrow night. Voice bands 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10 in the north, in the mid, and in the south latitudes. Noise floors on the amateur radio bands tonight will will increase about S2 to S4 tonight, lowering to S1 to S3 Sunday. And by the way, today, the data modes like the RTTY CQ Worldwide contest is amazing. It's all the way really right now from 20 to 10 megahertz. It's amazing. It really is. So, sorry, I said that wrong. Sorry. From the 20 meter band all the way to 10 meters. So 14 megahertz all the way up to about 29 megahertz. Good conditions for running the radio teletype CQ Worldwide. Your amateur radio bands for tonight should be 160, 80, 60, 40, 30, best DX, maximum usable frequency at sunset. Work your lower bands, get down to 40 meters, have a whole bunch of fun. Shortwave band listeners, 31, 25, 22, and 19 meters. Little bit of noise today on those bands. Not too much, but you'll hear a little bit more static out there. Tonight on the shortwave bands, noise floors should be high tonight. They will lower by tomorrow night. Your bands are 120, 90, 75, and 60, 49, and 41. And those are going to be a little louder than, say, 31, 25, 22, and 19. And by the way, 19 is still open close to an hour or so after sunset in the north and south latitudes. And about an hour after sunset, signals will fade away. All right, there you go. And there's your weather. And welcome to the show. Before we start, I want to thank you. This is truly an embarrassing thing. We didn't see this in our mail. We have like a mail stack down our table downstairs. And how this got missed, I don't know, but I'm really grateful to have received it. This comes from Rob Q in Los Angeles. A birthday card. No kidding. And my birthday was only 3 months ago. I didn't know you get it. I didn't know he sent it. He says, I was going to get you a brand new car for your birthday. He said, then I remembered I'm not Oprah.
You're way off. I say you're way off this time, son.
He says, yeah, it ruined my day too. Happy birthday. And then nice little thing he put in there. Happy birthday to a special ham radio operator. Larry, Ham Radio Live rocks. The best ham radio show on YouTube. Thank you for all your work. Free bird. Thank you, sir. And Rob, this is very nice. Thank you. What a nice birthday card. Gee whiz. Man. I marvel at that stuff. I really do. Thank you guys for such a kind thing to do. I appreciate it. Don't forget, topic question today. What's been one of your greatest accomplishments in radio? We're going to explore some things today in the show, on the radio here on the 7610, things that your radio will do as well. This radio, like the 7300, has the ability to decode radio teletype, has the ability for it to send and be able to send messages to people like a CQ call or like a received message, and then a 73. You can do all of that with programmed into your radio, or you can use something like a mobile keyboard. The 7610 has a couple of USB ports and one goes for a wireless keyboard. It's a fantastic device and a great way that you can take part in CQ Worldwide, maybe hear some rare DX you've never worked before. It's a neat way to be able to work amateur radio. I want to also take a moment to thank a dear friend, Louis Haupt. And when we made this call yesterday, Charlie Delta 6, Lima Hotel Echo, the BuddiHex was pointed southeast right towards the southern tip of Argentina. And there was the call to Chile. Here's the stats on that call we made yesterday on the show. Take a look at the kilometers here between us. That was 10,763 kilometer call. And it was, it was tough to hear. We made it, we confirmed it, and it's in. And I want to thank Luis for that. That's very nice. Let's take a look real quick. This is where he's at. It's in Palenque, Chile. Beautiful looking place. Just looks like a lot of really nice farmland, very fertile area. As you go out a little bit in the beautiful country of Chile, that's where he's located. And then from, the Chile area, it's kind of a very narrow country on the Pacific side of South America. It goes all the way to the southern tip, right there, heading towards Antarctica. And then right here is where they're at in the continent of South America. And there was the call right there. The blue line, the little blue dot there is where I am. And that was where Luis is on that beautiful red pin. I'm so grateful to that call. Luis, thank you so much for making the call to show yesterday. That was really an honor. What a nice guy, too. Really mean that. All right. We're going to also talk a little bit today about the BuddiHex. Something else I didn't show you, and I've never shown it on this channel before. The BuddiHex is a new antenna that's come out from Dipole here in Oregon. It is the most modular and simple antenna I have ever used. It's also given me DX calls I've never made before. South Africa, lots of Europe, most of the South American continent now, Central America, over to Australia, New Zealand, into the South Pacific. It just works brilliantly. And once you get used to it, you can set up in minutes. It's supposed to be used basically for portable ops, right? You take it for a field day excursion, possibly a short vacation out in the forest or wherever. But the thing really works. You point it, it goes that way. It will hear off the side just like any other, directional antenna. But what's really special about it is you can take it back down and put it in your bag and go and use it the next time somewhere else. It's made to be used multiple times in different places. But what has blown me away about this is I've had it in my backyard now almost 3 months consecutively, and I want to show you a little bit about it. This is how it looks today. We're pointed east, so that right now is, I know the sun's right there, but we're pointed directly east to the United States today to try and pick up a little bit of radio teletype for the CQ Worldwide event. But I did want to show you a little bit about something I think really is one of the most essential parts of that antenna, and it has to do with the Mastwerks system. The Mastwerks tripod is much more than a tripod. It's also an extendable mast that goes, way up in the air for you. You can either get the 7-meter one or the 10-meter one. Both will work great. I picked the 10-meter one. I tended to guy it right at the top so I could try and keep the BuddiHex itself stable in the wind. That's how it's set up. Let me show you a little about that tripod. I've never shown this before. This is the new BuddiHex by Dipole. And this is so good. This is how wonderful this tripod and extendable mast are. Is really easy to do. The issue I have is before a show, I'm trying to figure out which direction I'd like to work. Like yesterday, for example, right? The antenna, this mast here is the Mastwerks 10-meter mast. And like I told you, I have it guide way up there at the very top to protect the beam itself. But if you just come down, you turn this crank, it's very easily turning. It will change the antenna's direction. So if I'm right about here, that's pointed just about north, slightly east. That would be for working Europe. And then if I come back here this way, I'm going to be, you can see I'm turning the crank here on the antenna. I work towards the east here, and that's going towards the United States from the west coast of the United States, from the northwest corner. So it's this one's actually, if I go this way here, it's really facing east because I'm in the northwest corner of the States. Now yesterday, when I made the call to Chile, I was way over here. You see how fast the antenna turns? It's way over here. And that's where we got Chile yesterday. So we're gonna turn it back again the other way. I've got my helper here in the yard, Miley. Thank you for helping. Hold on, watch this. Miley, you gonna help me? You're gonna help me? You wanna help me with the ham radio? Okay. So we'll turn this back. We're gonna face it towards the United States and try and work that way. And when we do the shows towards Australia, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we will do our best to point it to the southwest so we can try and work them as well. So there you go. That's a little bit of how the BuddiHex antenna works with the Mastwerks tripod, made in the USA, quality product. This has been up now, it's just about 3 months in this position in the backyard. And that's it. And I'm telling you guys, from somebody who's built a lot of antennas, that's the foolproof antenna. Everything is color-coded. From the wires, the elements themselves, every one of the elements, it will work 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10, and 6. It'll do all of them. And they're all color-coded. Everything's simple to put together. As the extendable legs come out on this hex beam, each one of the elements for those clips automatically go to right where they belong, and it will be resonant, seriously resonant. This doesn't need a whole bunch of help from a tuner. Dipole by the BuddiHex by Dipole. Fantastic antenna, and we're going to be using it today to not only work CQ Worldwide in RTTY, but also see if we can work a little bit of AM on the AM contest stuff. Let's find out who came in first on this show, because that's always important. First one today on show number 3, my goodness gracious, would be William Myers from the great state of Wisconsin. Kilo Alpha 8 Golf India Mike. Let's give him a beep beep as well, please. Hi, William. Best to you and your lovely wife, Kelly. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming today on a Saturday. Thanks for being here. Second in from Georgia, that's Avery, Kilo 4, Victor Romeo Yankee. Just missed out by that much. Coming in first again. That'd be her 9th time. Andy New, Mike 7, Charlie Union November. Hi, Andy. Happy Saturday night to you there in the UK. William, who came in first the first time, Alpha Delta 8 India Tango. He's from Akron, Ohio. Nice to have you, William. Rodney is here from Holland. Always a better show when he's here. Welcome, buddy. Papa Alpha 9 Romeo Whiskey, a dear friend and a good man. Ron Walensky here from Monroe, Washington, November 8 Whiskey Charlie Romeo. Roger McKeon from the same state but the other side of the state in Spokane Valley. That's a good place to be. Roger and Molly. Kilo Juliet 7 Lima Lima X-Ray, and Molly makes K9. Welcome there. Another Northwesterner, that's Jeff in Portland, Oregon. Alpha Delta 7 Lima November. Dwight Hitchens, my shortwave mate, joins us from Virginia. Hi, Dwight. Very happy Saturday. It's nice to have you. It's good to have you here on the show today. Thanks for coming. Also want to say a big hello to Chris, Digital Analog Ham, 2 Echo 0, Union Kilo Hotel. Welcome. He said, great song, a bit like Rebecca Black Friday. All right. Thanks, mate. You know what? I have a feeling YouTube's going to just send me a notice that says, copyright claim. You must remove this. And yeah, we'll have to go through the game there. Rob Q, thank you for the birthday card. That was so cool, man. That's very nice. And because I'm Larry, I didn't open it until 3.5 months later. I feel bad about that. That's a beautiful card. Thank you, Rob, for thinking of me on my birthday. That's a very nice thing to do. Thank you. I mean that sincerely. You have to go buy the card and you got to, make it and send it out and everything. And that takes time. I'm just a YouTube guy. I'm not anybody special, and to receive stuff like that is very humbling to me because it makes me feel, really special. And it's nice to feel special sometimes. Thanks, Rob. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry it took so long to get that over to you. Sam Weaver here from Alabama. Nice to have you, Sam. Welcome back. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Kevin from the UK, Mike 0, Mike Charlie Lima. It's nice to have you. Good to have you here. And thank you, Andy, about the like button. God bless you guys. That's very kind. My brother Bob, courtesy of WIFI, he's got a huge battle ahead. We're going to work on that together. Bob's going to be all right. We're going to do our best. What we're doing, just give you a little update, little family update. So Bob turned 70 in January. And my wife and I have really talked to the importance of doing something special for him, and we want to do this because of his health. This is his 11th round of chemotherapy. He's about to start next week. And, I had the van accident, which you know about. It happened in June. I chose, instead of fixing the vehicle, for the insurance company to total the vehicle, but let me keep it, right? So I get to keep the car and take the money they would have paid the body shop so I can make sure we can take Bob on a special vacation coming up for his 70th birthday. He may not be able to go in January for his birthday because he'll just have finished chemo and there'll be some tests needed after that. But we want to take him somewhere special. And Bob, of course, picked Disneyland. At first it was Hawaii. And I was like, yes, Hawaii. Let's go back to Hawaii. That'd be great. Woohoo! I'm so into that trip. But Bob has always loved Disneyland. That has always been him. In fact, a brief little story. That's why I'm kind of stopping this thing. Because, we're friends. We hang out together. And that's what I love about the show. It's personal. To me it is. And I hope it is for you too. When Bob started radiation therapy, this back in 2012, for some reason, and I don't know why, I sent a couple of letters to Disneyland, emails to Disneyland, telling him about Bob. We call him Disneyland Bob in the house. And the reason why, in fact, if he comes upstairs, Bob, you're watching, come up the stairs, show what shirt you're wearing today. I guarantee it'll be a Disney shirt of some sort because he has so many Disney shirts. And so Disneyland ended up sending 2 boxes up to our home, and they called them boxes of magic to help him feel better. And they were the coolest people. They were great to deal with. The stuffed toys, the autograph book, the shirt, all kinds of things they sent to make Bob feel better. And Bob has always been he's always loved Disneyland Park. There, see, there he is. There is his Disneyland. See, I told you, Mickey Mouse shirt. There he is. That guy right there. It's my brother. He's my hero. Good to see you, Bob. Thanks for coming. He's lost a lot of weight, and his cancer numbers are really high. And so right now we're going to try really good to get him through this 11th round of chemo and give him the trip of a lifetime. So for me personally, instead of fixing the van and, making it right, it was better to take the money to make this right with Bob. And so I hope he'll have the health to do it. And, we talk a lot about things here. And I know, like Dave, Whiskey 6, Charlie Romeo Tango, also dealing with cancer issues. Cancer sucks. It does. It's really hard. But I tell you this in all honesty, you do the best you can. I've always been brought up, my grandfather brought me up with something, and I'm going to share it with you. I've never shared it before, ever on this show. Leave the world a better place than you started it. And that was a great comment. I love it. And I really want my life to be that way. Leave it a better world because you were there. That's the main point. Let's talk about who's here, and then we were going to zoom into the next segment. Try to help people get that first level license, a technician license. Yes, it will be done in just a few moments here for people that want to get the amateur radio. That's what we'll do, okay? Yeah. I'm glad you're here, Bob. Thanks for coming. Rodney with a nice little link there about the Ham Radio Live Discord group. Thank you for that link too, Rodney. You're on top of it. Well done, sir. I love Rodney. Rodney's so special. Nikolai's here from Romania. Hi, Nikolai. Look at that. Yankee Oscar 8, November, India Kilo. Good evening, Nikolai. Welcome. Man, all the way from Romania. That is a big deal to me. Jenna, that's Avery's sister. November 4, Juliet Echo Hotel in Georgia. Nice to see you, Jenna. Thanks for coming. I really mean that. Thank you. Don't forget today's topic question. What's been your greatest accomplishment in radio? Your greatest. Not good. Not it was okay. It was a moment you screamed and yelled like a little girl out there.
You're way off. I say you're way off this time, son.
How about just something that just made you happy? We'll take it with that, okay? William, first one from Akron says, great question of the day, earning my extra class ticket. For the longest time, I didn't think I could pass, so I didn't even try. And he got it. Well done, William. See, there you go, guys. Yes, you can pass that. You can. You just got to take it. Do a little bit of work and you'll get it done. Rodney from Holland, my greatest accomplishment happened a few years ago. It was helping people with Aries Aruba when I helped people after the Saint Martin and Haiti after a nasty hurricane. Also, greatest accomplishment was meeting all of you. And that's so cool. Thanks, Rodney. That's very nice. Thank you. See why I love Rodney? That's why I love Rodney. Andy New from UK, best achievement, getting my license. Most best achievement to come, I think. You'll do it, Andy. You will. You will. That intermediate, you know so much. You'll get there. You really will. You really will. All right, let me see. We've got Country Strong and Free. Welcome to ABDLOL. Is waiting for those the questions. We got Kevin from Iowa as well. Kilo Zero, Kilo Lima Bravo, welcome. And I think we've got everybody caught up with the topic question so far. Again, topic question today, what's been your greatest accomplishment in radio? Let us know. We'll make it part of today's show. Welcome, Phil from across the pond, 2 Echo Zero, Foxtrot Juliet, Quebec from the UK. Welcome, Phil. Good evening. Thank you for being here. And Country Strong, I'm pretty good. Kids are sleeping, wife is sleeping, and I have 10 meters on the radio, and Larry can't get much better. Yeah, it's tough because 10's really open right now. It really is. And I'll show you, we're going to talk about RTTY because it's CQ Worldwide RTTY, right? Look at the digital signals going on right now. It's unbelievable. Look at this. We're going to go into that today. I hope you enjoyed that segment. So it'll be a lot of fun. Good conditions today to make calls on your radio for sure. I want to make sure I get everybody and not miss one person that says what they like, the special thing they did in radio. And Chris, thanks for the happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you too in the UK. That is really nice. Thank you. Andy, Kenwood TS590SG is talking to me. Should I pull the trigger? It's a great radio. It is a really good radio. Really is. Joachim is back. Hi, Joachim. Delta India 3 Papa Whiskey Romeo all the way from Germany. Welcome. Good to have you back, mate. Good to have you back. Delta India 3 Power. Isn't that great call sign? I love it. Delta India 3 Power. Couldn't get better. Man, that's awesome. That really is. Thanks for coming. Continent number 4 is in the house. Look at this, everybody. Wow. Tom, all the way in Bahrain, Alpha 92 Golf Whiskey. Good evening, my friend. It's great to have you. Happy Saturday evening to you there in the Middle East. Great to see you guys. Winan joins us. That's a good thing because Winan's from Africa. Welcome, Winan. It's nice to have you tonight. Thank you for coming all the way from Namibia. This is a fun show to do, coast to coast, and having some fun around the world with all of you too. I can't tell you how awesome that is. It's really, really special to me. I think I've got everything just about caught up, just trying to go through everything. Here we go. Hold on. Country Strong and Free answering today's topic question, which is, what is one of your best accomplishments you've ever made in radio? It says, my greatest accomplishment is my 991A and all the friends I've made in ham radio. That's very good. Thank you, sir. Very nice. Yeah. Winan, talk about cancer. It hits me hard when I even think of others that might have it close to my heart. You never really understand it, what people are going through. It's hard to see. I've had 2 people I've had in my family that have had cancer. It's not a fun thing to watch. Jeff in Portland, my greatest accomplishment in radio? When I passed the testing for my general radio telephone operator's license and radar endorsement. That's cool. Nice, Jeff. Congrats on that. That's a great accomplishment. Jenna in Georgia, greatest accomplishment, probably being able to copy CW at 40 words per minute. Unbelievable. Her mind is like a steel trap, a computer. She's going to do amazing things. She really is. Rob Q, my greatest accomplishment in ham radio is finding Larry at Ham Radio Live Discord in this chat, friends. That's very humbling, Rod. Thank you. That's very kind. Thank you. Just do a YouTube show. And I'm really grateful. We try and do it every day. I try. I really do. I try. But you guys are such good friends. You know all the stuff that I've got to take care of. And I appreciate your kindness with that. Thank you. It means a lot to me. And Rob, that's a very nice compliment. Thank you. I sincerely mean that. Kevin from Iowa, Kilo 0 Kilo Lima Bravo. By the way, amazing. He's not only just an amazing person. He's got a great YouTube channel too, where he does everything with antennas that you just wouldn't believe it, even with bricks.
I'm a doctor, not a bricklayer.
Oh, sorry, Kev. You do good with antennas though. You do. Kevin's best accomplishment was my recent QSO with Winan in Namibia on 20 meters with 10 watts QRP SSB. Very exciting. So what that means is Kevin lives in Iowa. That's kind of the upper Midwest, just kind of the southern part of the upper Midwest of the United States. On 10 watts, he made the call all the way over the states, into the Atlantic Ocean, most likely, back up to the ionosphere and down into Namibia, where Winan, Victor 51 Whiskey, heard his call, made a call back, and they made what we call a QSO, which means a contact together. Phenomenal, 10 watts. Good. Wow. Nice work, Kev. Thanks for that. That's really, really good. Chris has been busy. He says, I have purchased 2 HF radios this week. Which ones? Tell us. Dish it out. We want to know. We do. Delta Lima. Haha. Congratulations on your birthday. Thanks, Joachim. Appreciate it. Sorry. When they use this, here's the problem. If you use a small letter, for example, L is weird because L, if you use the small L, it comes like a number 1, right? So it looks like it's a Delta India here because hopefully I said it right. Because otherwise, you understand. L looks like the same thing. If an I and an L, an I and a capital L are exactly the same. Dumbest part of the English language ever. Should never happen. Why does a small L look just like an I? Because in computer lingo, right, you don't really have. For example, let me type an I on the screen and I'll type an L. So capital I and an L. Here we go. They're both there and I'll show them to you right now. There they are for you to see. First one's a capital I, second one is an L. You figure it out. It's crazy stuff, man. Stupid English language. That's the way it goes. Nice to have you here, Joachim. Thanks for being here. Greg has joined us all the way from the East Coast. Greg, welcome. Greatest accomplishment, designing and modifying all those hundreds of D104 microphones and Kenwood TS830s to make my customers proud and happy. There you go. See, he's only a radio engineer for multiple stations, right? He had multiple stations. He's got an incredible 9/11 story. Gosh. Ugh. Unbelievable. It's what he had to go through. It's just amazing. Kevin, Greg, great work. Thanks for coming today. It's nice to have you. Tom in Bahrain, my wife comes back tomorrow after 2 weeks away. That means you got still time to purchase something for ham radio. There you go, Tom. Always better to ask for forgiveness rather than permission sometimes. But ladies, please understand, that would be a joke. Okay, we're just making a joke. Tom says, greatest accomplishment in radio, rather simple, but a wahoo moment, making contact into Iswani, which is Swaziland, portable. Unreal. Wow. Now, see, I would have thought, Tom, you would have mentioned your call to North Korea. Not many people have that. Not many people, but you do. That's amazing you made that call. Really? Yeah. Chris, he says he bought a Zygu 6100 and Trusty. Okay. I don't know what Trusty is, but I'm glad you got it. That's good. That's good. Country Strong and Free. Is it just me or is everyone about 10 seconds behind, LOL? I see Larry's chat before he said it. Oh, no.
And now, a Larry moment.
There's lag with YouTube, and sometimes it can be really weird how it works. You can do two things. I don't recommend always putting the little line, the progress line, and moving it to the far right to get exactly live as best you can. But some people do that, and, it's okay. Just don't mess with the trivia questions because that makes people mad.
Oh, whatever, Larry.
It's true. It's true. People, it's only a trivia game, my gosh. Elmer times Jeff. This is the high-level FCC testing, electronics, radio theory, repair, and construction. The GROL and radar endorsement testing is more difficult than the extra-class amateur testing ×2. What Jeff is saying, he says, I am much smarter than you are.
Hey, that's a joke, son.
I'm just kidding, Jeff. Just joking. It's Saturday. Have some fun. Tom says D104 was one of my favorite mics. Very, very good. That's fun. That's fun. And then Tom, North Korea, yes. Oh, it didn't get confirmed. Oh, man, that sucks. That sucks. Oh, I'm sorry, Tom. That would be something you'd want to hold on to, man. Thank you for sharing. You still know you made the call, though, right? You do. All right, let's try and help some people get licensed into amateur radio. We're talking about the technician license, the entry-level license here in the States. And this is something that's very passable, especially if you have a good ham club nearby. They can help you learn to pass the test. But if you don't, and you don't know where one is, or maybe it's too far for you to go, distance learning is an excellent way to get your ham license. It really is. And this company does a great job. They have a 100% money-back guarantee if you don't pass the test or don't like the software. They just want to try and help you get licensed. Ham Test Online sponsors Ham Bites Today Technician. You can find them online at www.hamtestonline.com, just like Rodney put right there. Thank you, sir. And let's get on with the show. All right. First question today, how is a VHF UHF transceiver's reverse function used? Technically what this means is if you're not hearing the repeater, you can listen on the repeater's input frequency. Okay, because what people are doing is they're transmitting to that frequency, so you can listen there. It's called working it in the reverse function. So that would be reverse beacon way to do it. You're listening on the repeater frequency input rather than listening on the output. Okay, next question. Give me a moment. I don't know why, but it's a dry mouth day for Larry. Yeah. Which of the following must be programmed into a D-Star digital transceiver before you transmit, right? You just have to make sure your call sign's there. That's it. So if you've got a D-Star radio, let's say a 7100, for example, or the 705, okay, before you use D-Star, just make sure your call sign is programmed in so you could be legal with it. Okay, that's it. Just their call sign. Next, Which term describes the ability of a receiver to discriminate between multiple signals? All right, let me give you a real-world example if you're new to radio or the radio hobby, all right? There are many times where you look at the radio and there are many signals. Here's a good example of it. Look at this. All of these lines are signals coming from somewhere in the world, each one of these. So as you look through this area right here, see all these lines, all of those lines going down, all these peaks, these are all signals coming from somewhere in the world right now because this is the radio teletype CQ Worldwide contest, all right? The ability for a radio to be able to discriminate or be able to separate all of these signals from each other is called selectivity, all right? Remember, sensitivity is a radio's ability to receive the signal. Selectivity is the radio's ability to separate the signal and nail it down. So the answer here is the question, name the radio's, so for example, question, let's say the question said, name the radio's ability to receive a signal. That is sensitivity, all right? But in this question, they want to find out what it is when a receiver discriminates between multiple signals. Always selectivity. Shortwave people know this. They do because they buy so many great radios, and selectivity is exceptionally important when they buy one, okay? Next question. In which of the following circumstances may the control operator of an amateur station receive compensation for operating their station? All right. I answered this wrong because my name is Larry, okay? But I'm telling you, I take the test just like you all do. I do, and I show you when I can make a mistake. I had A, when the communication is related to the sale of amateur equipment by the control operator's employer. Okay, that's what I had. But that's not the right answer. This one is when the communication is incidental to classroom instruction at an educational institution. Now, if that is not the weirdest doggone answer.
You're way off. I say you're way off this time, son.
I agree, it's kind of weird. But the point is, that's the answer they want. Okay, for technicians. When the question comes up, in which of the following circumstances may the control operator of an amateur station receive compensation for operating that station, next breath, the answer is when the communication is incidental to classroom instruction at an educational institution. So for a practical example, if you're at a library where the ham radio club is, right, and they've got somebody there who's a guest speaker, all right, and they're showing you various things going on with amateur radio. Okay, you might be able to, you get paid for that. You can do that kind of stuff. But that's so rare. It's kind of weird. Anyway, next question. Sorry. Who may be the control operator of a station communicating through an amateur satellite or space station? You don't have to be an amateur extra licensee to do this. In fact, technicians do this all the time. The answer here is D. Any amateur allowed to transmit on the satellite uplink frequency. That's it. You have that, you're able to do it, right? Next question, and this is going to be an all-in. Everybody around the world gets to play this one. We'll let you know who gets it right first, okay? Question is, which of the following displays an electrical quantity as a numeric value, right? Which of the following displays an electrical quantity as a numeric value? Is it A, a transistor, B, a potentiometer, C, a meter, or D, a relay? Please let me know with A, B, C, or D. First one in gets some applause like this, and we get to celebrate you for a second. That's kind of nice. Yep. Looking for what this answer is. Transistor, potentiometer, meter, or relay. First one from the UK, Andy New. Mike 7, Charlie Union November says C, it would be a relay, and he is 100% correct. Well done. Yep, it's a relay. Well done, Andy. The crowd is chanting your name, sir. Yes, it is. It's a relay. Also getting that was wine in Africa. Very good. Rodney had B, and that was really cool. You guys, Country Strong also had that one right. Well done. Very good. Yep, it's just a meter, okay? This question is kind of weirdly worded, right? Which of the following displays an electrical quantity as a numeric value? It's a very big run-on sentence, okay? But the point is, it's a meter. It displays an electrical quantity as a numeric value, right? Next, how much power is delivered by a voltage of 12 volts DC and a current of 2.5 amperes, okay? All you have to do when you do a question like this is remember the power pyramid. All right. The answer is 30 watts. Okay. You multiply 12 times 2.5. Right. Here's the actual math. Right. 12 volts times 2.5 amps equals 30 watts. This is the PEI form of learning. It's power on top. Your current is on the lower left, and the current is on the lower right, and the voltage is on the lower left. That's how it works. Yeah, so that's it. 12 volts times 2.5 amps equals 30 watts. That's how you figure it out. Okay. Next, what types of international communications are an FCC licensed amateur radio station permitted to make? This one's really interesting. Let's look at these really quickly, all right? Country song, now I make myself look dumb.
Well, thanks, Larry.
Yeah, okay. Look at this. Okay, here's the answers, right? A, any communications that would be permitted by an international broadcast station. That is definitely not the answer. No. B, communications incidental to the purposes of the amateur radio service and remarks of a personal character. That's the correct answer. C, communications incidental to conducting business or remarks of a personal nature. No, that's not it. Or D, only communications incidental to contest exchanges. All other communications are prohibited.
'Cause I'm
Right. Sure, you're number one. All right. The answer here is B. All right. It's communications incidental to the purposes of the amateur radio service and remarks of a personal character. You know, the test can be fun. Can't we have fun with this? You hopefully learn, and we have a little fun with it too. All right. Which of the following is accurately represented in electrical schematics? Electrical schematics, all it does is talks about the component connections. In these four, right, there's another question like this, where one of the answers is the positioning of electrical components, and that's the right answer. This form is different. On this one, the answer is component connections. All right, that's the best representation of what schematics do from these four. Okay, they're not going to show you wire links. They're not going to show you the physical appearance of the components. What that means literally is, okay, this is what a capacitor looks like, and this is what a resistor looks like. Here's an inductor, and there's your transformer. No, it doesn't do that. It just is component connections. Therefore, D, all these choices can't be correct. Right? Almost done. We got like just a couple more. And here is your little bit of schematics. 1, that's what a resistor looks like. 2, transistor. Remember, T with a circle. Just look at it sideways. You see the T going in, and a circle with a T, transistor. Lamp or light bulb, there you go. And the battery shows that, plus the chassis ground. Know your schematics if you're going to be taking this test. It will help you greatly to pass it. And there's not many to learn. There really isn't, all right? One of that's missing from that, by the way, from here is the kite. That would be your antenna. It's just an upside down triangle that's like going up above the schematic. So it represents like a flying kite and therefore an antenna. Remember? Up high, antenna, same thing. All right, which region of the atmosphere can refract or bend HF and VHF radio waves? Yes, they can be done with VHF. It is the ionosphere. It is our best friend in amateur radio, and so why we do so much with solar weather. Last question of the show. What is a disadvantage of using a handheld VHF transceiver with a flexible antenna inside a vehicle? All right, now these are also called rubber duck antennas, right? The signal strength is reduced using it inside a vehicle, and it's because of the shielding effect of the vehicle itself. That's all it is. When you're using an antenna that's hooked up to the radio, the little rubber duck antenna, right? Those antennas are limited in how much they can transmit because the vehicle itself is made of metal, and that shields some of the RF. That's why it works that way. Thanks to HemBytes today, coming from Hem Test Online. They have a great program, guys. They really do. From technician all the way to the amateur extra license, their syllabus is well written. It's understandable by the layman, and it's really powerfully good. This is a great way for you to get your amateur radio license or license up. And everyone should be that amateur extra licensee because you can do it if you want it. Find them online, www.stop, www.hamtestonline.com. And remember, 100% money back guarantee if you don't pass the test. Pretty darn cool. Thanks to them for sponsoring this show. That's nice. You ever buy something online and you buy one thing, right? And then they keep sending you more and more texts, right? I hate that. And you have to send stop every time, stop. And then they resend you something else. Like, what are you doing? I told you to stop doing it. Why do you keep sending me all these tests?
And now, a Larry moment.
So I buy that shirt. Remember the shirt I wore the other day? It said, Larry, let's eat Larry, and then let's eat, comma, Larry. It's a comma saves lives. Okay, it's a shirt, right? The company that sold it to me sends me this stupid text every day, right about 12 o'clock. I'm so tired of it. I've said stop too many times. I really have. Don't forget, today's topic question. We're having fun with the show. What's been your best accomplishment in radio? Let us know in the comment section. We will make it part of the show. We've got a great guest coming October the 1st. It's going to be fun. Brian Duddy, November 2, Bravo Tango Delta. He's a newly licensed general in the States, and he's done amazing things like DXCC, worked all Europe, all U.S. counties, grid squares. This is done on sideband as well. You're going to join us on Saturday, October 1st at 1900 UTC. Learn about his amazing success in amateur radio. He will help you to do some pretty cool stuff. Find him here at 1900 UTC. That's going to be 8 p.m. London, 3 p.m. here in the States on the East Coast, noon Pacific, and I know Australia, it's very early, but please try and join us for that. Be a fun show with our dear friend Brian Duddy. All right. We're also going to check your comments to today's topic question, which is, what's your greatest accomplishment in radio? My greatest accomplishment, before I do that, let me just say, Patty Roach joins us from the UK, 2 Echo Zero Tango Whiskey Delta. Welcome, Patty. Good to have you, buddy, as always. Always good to see you, mate. Always good. I think my greatest accomplishment in radio, my greatest, was the first call I made to VK Land. It really was. This is what I woke my family up with. I did literally 3 a.m. I'm at the radio because I can't sleep. All of a sudden, my brother comes rolling out of his bedroom. My wife comes barreling down the hall because I'm literally screaming, yes, 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 because I made my first call to Australia. And that was my goal. I really wanted to get Australia and England. I wanted those two countries, you know? And it was such a special moment for me. I never will forget the excitement of that. And that's where Patty's at, in England. Patty, welcome. Good evening, mate. Always a pleasure to have you there. Really is. You guys talking about food. Don't make me hungry today. Look at this. We have Alan back, Kilo Bravo 8, Victor Oscar Mike. Hello, everyone. Hope all is having a great day. I'm at work and we'll watch the show later when I'm done. 73 C2, mate. Thanks for coming. Nice to have you. Nice little looky-loo. I like that. Elmer time. Radio, it's green. It's about this big. Lots of numbers and knobs, but that's not important right now.
Now, I say cut that out. What's it all about, boy? Elucidate.
I know. It's the way it goes. Thank you, Jeff. Another. He loves the airplane references. It's good. It's funny. Oh, my goodness. We've got some big news here. Look at this. This is really cool. I'm excited to share this with you. It's great. This is from Cranky65. Got my general license last week. Trying to decide on a radio, IC 705 or 7300. Live in a condo, so whatever I get will be operated portable. Congratulations on getting that general license, Cranky. We're real proud of you, mate. Good job. That's awesome. New general. Wow. Of both of those radios, ask yourself this question. Is power out important to me? And that's a real important question. It really is. The 705 is a dynamite radio. Really good, right? It's 10 watts running on power from your house or from, a big enough battery to power it to 10 watts, right? The 7300 is a 100 watt radio, okay? But it's only HF. The 705, kind of a check in the box, does it all. But it's 10 watts. Think about how much power you want to use. That's important. It really is. And the other thing to think about, too, is if you're interested in VHF, UHF still, because you came from being a technician, the 705 will serve you really well because it'll do those bands, too. So both are great radios, but it would come to be probably down to the power output I wanted. That would be important. Man, if you were to go, for example, Cranky, and I'm just saying this as an example because I've used it for a long time and the darn thing just works like crazy. If you can somehow get something like a little hex beam like this, the BuddiHex, and I know it's expensive, I get it, but doggone it, it's worth every penny of it. Really, really is. You'll be able to make calls like you can't believe. And that 10 watts, if you go with the 705, is going to have gain to it now of about 5 dB. So that helps your signal, really does. Interesting conundrum you're in there. I kind of like it, actually. I think it's, both radios very, very sensitive, good selectivity, but how much power do you want? Interesting point. Right? Don't forget today's topic question, which is, what was one of your greatest accomplishments in radio? Your greatest accomplishment. Country Strong Free. I do need to start getting back into my general book. I want to take that test next month. Would be a cool birthday present to myself. It certainly would be, and we'll wish you luck on that. Yep. Seriously, dude. You can pass the test. You can. So many questions from the technician license are on the general. Okay? So you got a little help there. You're not going to get more than 3 math questions, so that's fine. You can pass it. And I'll tell you something else. I bet you can pass the extra. You got to think higher. I know. I bet you could do it. I really could. And I'm saying that out of friendship to you because I think you could do it. And you're worth it. Gosh, you're worth getting all those frequencies. And congratulations again on working hard to get those frequencies. I think it's really, really cool. MMX2 has returned. Welcome back, sir. He says, hey, Larry, put a call out on 20 meters. I'll see if I can work from Ireland. Here is 20 meters currently. This is, of course, the digital part of it, but then take a look over here. And by the way, we're going to go do it through a part here real quick. We're going to show you something else in a moment. But here's where we're at. And the reason I can't do that right now is, quite honestly, because we're not in a part of the show I can do that segment. So I'm going to show something else. 20 meters here is pretty good, but there's definitely some, the only issue I have on this one is the antenna is really not quite pointed your way. It's pointed towards the U.S. and not quite pointed north enough to reach you. I'd have to go down the stairs, crank the crank, and make it go a little north. I think right now with gray line past you, that's a tough call. It is. That'd be a tough call to make. Later in the day for me, early in the morning for you is an excellent time. Earlier than this, like say for example, if we made the call around 1730, maybe 1700 to 1800, we got a good shot at it then because it's gray line where you're at and we can make the call. Same reverse. It's exact same reverse. So when it's sunrise for you, it's a good time for me to make the call to you at dark. Makes it work. Yeah. We'll get that call, mate. Don't worry. We will. We will. And it'll be fun. And then I will shoot. Then I will shout really loud that I did a call for the UK. I would love that. Scott Dog loves a 705. Rudolph Smith, greatest accomplishments when I built my first radio. That's pretty darn cool. Assembled it himself. Rudolph, well done. Thank you. That's pretty cool. Really is. Really is. Yeah. And Aaron, IC7300 and cheap mobile for VHF, UHF. Could be. Yeah, could be. It just depends on what you want. Yeah, what you want. Cornbread is busy sleeping. Cornbread, we want to help you with whatever we can. Thank you for coming today, and don't worry about it. Just rest.
The jig is up.
Just rest. You're fine. Thanks for being here. Jeff loves his 705. It also makes an excellent portable shortwave receiver. Yep, sure does. Sure does. Let me see. I think we got it. Here we go. MMX. I'm hearing North America booming here. Loads of parks there. Okay. Most likely so. But here's the problem. What you're hearing. Let's do this because we'll make an illustration. Rodney, you're still here, right? Okay. So we'll do this real quick. It's timing. And this is so important, my friend. And please, I want to help you. I'm trying to help you learn this. This is very important. Timing is essential in amateur radio. If we're trying to make the call from the UK to the west coast of North America, that's a big difference between you're hearing people in Illinois and Indiana and Florida and Texas. There's a Big difference, because there's a very large mountain range between us and them called the Rocky Mountains, right? The problem you have is that only at certain times of day can that call be made. Only certain times of day. Usually gray lines, excellent. But because you're hearing North America stations and parks on the air, you're hearing most likely stations from the Midwest, East Coast, and Southeast. Most likely. But we'll throw a signal out. And I bet we can't make the call. Only because it's the wrong time. So let me get you the radio real quick. This is a good time. And I'm not calling him out. Please do not. Do not think that. No one think that. I do things on this channel to help people learn things. And right now is a great opportunity to help all of us, to help me show you timing in radio and how it works, why it works, and why it doesn't work. And it's not going to work now. We'll show you. Watch. All right, so I'm going to move up. We're going to go up on frequency as soon as I turn it off of reference. Rodney's still here, right? I'm making sure Rodney, because Rodney will hear. All right, Rodney, you be listening. All right. And MMX, if we can make the call, that'd be awesome. Love to do it. Would love to. Seriously, would love to. It's just the timing is wrong. All right. And I'm honored, by the way. Seriously, I am seriously honored that you want to make the call with me. That means a lot. So thank you for that. I do mean that. Thank you. Or seriously, I do. All right, let's check frequency real quick. Let me bring my power down. We're down to, let me go to 220 real quick. Check frequency. Is the frequency in use? This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Just want to check SWR. All right. So we'll throw about 400 watts out. Checking frequency availability. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. All right, there's 400. All right, here we go. CQ from Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November, calling CQ. CQ from Oregon. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November, calling CQ. CQ from Oregon to any station anywhere. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November, calling CQ on 20 and listening.
Kilo Alpha 8, Golf India Mike.
Hey, hang on. I got a Kilo Alpha 8. Wasn't quite ready. Can you give me your call sign again, please?
Kilo Alpha 8, Golf India Mike. Golf India Mike, QSL.
I got a guy in a hex beam from Wisconsin. William, how are you, buddy?
QSL, Larry, I'm doing great. Yep, my hex beam's pointed roughly in your general direction, and it seems like it's working okay. QSL?
That's QSL, mate. Thank you very much for that. 5959 here in Oregon. Not surprised. Great signal out of your hex beam. That KIO hex beam has served you well, hasn't it?
It certainly has, Larry. It certainly has. You're a 5.5 into Bruce, Wisconsin. QSL?
QSL, man, I'm grateful to hear that. I'm pointed more towards about Georgia right now. So Georgia's right about the center of the antenna. So, you know what? I'll take that. That's a good signal report. Hey, how's, I got to ask because I want to make sure that I stay in good graces. How is Kelly doing? Over?
Thank you very much, Larry. Thank you very much. She is doing very well. Thank you.
Glad to hear that. Give her my best, and thank you so much for making the call. Kilo Alpha 8 Golf India Mike from the beautiful state of Wisconsin. Thank you for making the call with Kilo 7 Hotel November. God bless you, pal. My very best to you and Kelly.
God bless, Larry. 73.
73, mate. Thank you so much. It's Kilo 7 Hotel November QRZ. There you go. So we got someone that's tuning on frequency. We'll try over time real quick. CQ20, Kilo 7 Hotel November, Kilo 7 Hotel November calling CQ. CQ from Oregon to any station in the world, Kilo 7 Hotel November calling CQ and listening. So there you go. And that's it. And just a second. Sorry, just was ready to pull off the radio here. I'm doing a YouTube show called Ham Radio Live. Your call sign again, please. All right, it's Kilo 7 Hotel November will be QRT. There we go. All right. Just to show it there. And what I mean by this is really important. Okay. I don't want anybody, MMX, please don't feel called out for this. I'm very, very honored you want to make the call to me. And believe me, I want to make the call to you too. I do. I love working in Europe. Europe for me comes in right now about 7 to 9 p.m. right there, 7 to 9 p.m. Currently it is 1:30 in the afternoon. Timing is essential to make the call between our two countries, because while you can hear part of our country, the west part is the hardest part for you to get, just like it's hard for us to get you too. So 7 to 9 p.m. my time, translate to your time, figure that part out. And then from your end, when sunrise is coming on 40 meters, we have an excellent chance to try and make the call because it's dark here, right? And you guys are, I think, +7 right now. So, still 7 hours ahead. So at sunrise where you're at, I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere around 6:30, 7 a.m., maybe somewhere around there. It would be about 11 p.m. my time, right? That's a great time for us to make a call too. Timing is essential for making calls anywhere in the world, not just between us and the UK. It's between North America and South Africa, or North America and New Zealand. Timing is so important. And as you go through this hobby after a while, you'll find out that timing is when you know we can do what. Like yesterday, the call to Chile. I knew we'd make it because it was 10 meters and it was pointed southeast towards the tip of Argentina, the southern tip. Great call with Chile. Just know where to work when. If you're in the afternoon, work south. Seriously, if you're in UK, man, work south. Work Africa to death. Work the Middle East. Work places to the east of you a little ways. Man, you'll do really well. And then at that magical time of sunset, okay, that's when the U.S. is going to boom in. Because a lot of those signals are coming in right over the top of Greenland and coming down into Europe. That's how they roll. My antenna, when I use a BuddiHex, it's pointed directly over Greenland. And man, Russia and Slovakia, Romania, Bulgaria, Italy, France, Spain, UK, Scotland, Ireland. Seriously, that's what's coming in, 7 to 9 p.m. here on my time. So try it, and maybe we'll make that call. I'll see if I can do a little bit of time on the radio tonight between 7 and 9. And if you're able to do it, mate, we will make that call together, okay? And I'll record it too. I'll record it. And it's cool. When you have somebody that cares enough to say, I want to make the call to you, that's very humbling, and I mean that. Thank you for that. I mean that very much. Let's see, Winan says, for me, the 705 is price to performance, the 73 to the 7300. If 705 were cheaper, price to 7300 would take both. You can always power 7300 lower if you need to. Okay, there you go. Understand that. But 705 at least is a shack in the box. That's good. You don't lose VHF, UHF. Yeah. Ralph Smith, it is a 2-meter FM radio, 5 watts. Yes, true. Absolutely true. Yep. If you're powering it, like you got a power source to it, or if you're using, say, a Bioeno or other battery for that, man, you can go 10 watts with it. You'll do great. It's a great radio. Fun radio. Really is. Country Strong and Free at Ham Radio Live and everyone. Why is it that on my 10-meter dipole inverted V, I can only hear stations south of the U.S., but nothing east, west, or north? Which way is it pointed? Because you should be able to hear both. You should be able to hear both ways. All right. If your antenna is pointed, if it's in an area, for example, near buildings or near high structures, good, just for that example, say your house is, I don't want to write on that. Larry doesn't have scratch paper here. Hold on. It's a good question. I gotta get to my pens. Got one. There we go. And Rodney's got a question here too, and this is important. Goes exactly what I'm saying. What are the angle of the legs of your inverted V? Because that makes a difference too. Keep them high. All right, keep them high. Say your inverted V is like this. Okay, you got a nice inverted V antenna just like this. Okay, and this would be the top. Okay, so top. All right. So your antenna is like this, and then it's about drawing. Your element's right there. Okay, that's an inverted V, and it might work you pretty well, but it'll work you great if your inverted V is more like this. Okay, where the legs are very high. Okay, so let's say, for example, this is 40 feet high. 40. That's bad for, huh? 40 feet high up here. Okay, and then these are 35. That's going to make the antenna do really well. But here's what the problem can be. Let's say there's a house right next to it there. The antenna can't go that way very well because there's a structure right in front of it. And that does make a big difference. If it's out in the open, I don't know why it's not working. But I would definitely make the legs high, as high as you can. If you get the legs up, say, 30, 35 feet, keep it up high, 40 feet at the top, 35 feet in the ends. It's a great antenna, man. It's almost a flat top, but it works well as an inverted V. Good question. Thank you for that. I do appreciate it. He says about 20 to 25 feet. The center is closer to 25 feet. Okay. Okay, 40. There's the problem. Yep. If you get the legs up, for example, 40 feet in the center, 35 on the ends, it'll work really good. Just make sure there's no structures there near it. You don't want any structures. You'll be fine. You really will. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. The ends are at the corner of my single-story house, so maybe 20 feet. The center conductor is closer to 25 feet on a mast. Okay, so the ends are at the corner of your single-story house, so that's good. I would try really hard to get the ends up high. Just get them up high. If you're working 40, for example, that's a good height. 25 feet's great for 20. That's a good height. You keep the antenna height the other way. I would think it has something to do with maybe the radials. If you're touching anything metal, I don't know, you short it out. But you're not going to make good calls with that. Try and get up high. Keep it away from everything metal. Every part of a wire antenna should be at least 5 inches from anything metal. Just trying to come up with answers. Kev got me a 55 on that frequency. Thank you for that. And you heard me at a 5.2. That's good. 52. How about that? That's good. See, a certain time of day, we can make that call. If a certain time of day, we'll make that call. But right now, it's going to be hard for you to transmit to me. That's going to be the problem. I'm glad I got heard there. Skyler Dog heard me at a 55 in Arizona. I'm going just literally pointing straight to Georgia right now. William, thanks, Larry. Always a pleasure to have a QSO with you. You're very welcome. Thank you. And by the way, MMX, I really want to make that call too. I do. That's really humbling to me. Thank you. Think about that for a moment. Somebody says to you they want to make a call with you. That's very humbling. It's a very humbling thing for me, and I thank you for that. And we will make that call. We will. I promise we'll do that. All right, I think we got everybody. We got caught up here. We go, Greg. There we go. Good point. Sunrise, sunset. Here we go. We're doing this song. Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset. Clearly the fiddler on the roof knew a thing or two about gray line. Yes, he certainly did. Yeah. Gray line is very important, and it really works. Glenn Stevenson, continent number 5 is here. Thank you for coming, Glenn. What frequencies will you be on later? I will have a listen out for you. Okay. Right now I'm pointed due east, almost a little southeast, Glenn. I can swarm the antenna over a little bit. Yeah, it's day your way. Yeah, let's try and make a call. We'll try and do it, Glenn. I'll work that. Yep. Okay. I do want to show you this because this was part of the planning for today's show. All right. Your 7300 will do this too. It's just not me. It's a 7300 will do it too. It's really good. 705 will do it. the 7100. I don't think 7100 does it, but anyway. All right, so 7610, 705, 7300. They all do this very well, all right? This is CQ Worldwide RTTY. Okay, it's a great contest where you can make calls with continents you've never heard before. On a 7300 or a 7610 or 705, simply press where it says blue USB. It's right below that left meter, okay? The blue USB button. Press it, go to RTTY, all right? Let me show you the difference if you don't do this. If you stay on sideband and you hit the menu button, here's what pops up, right? Scope, audio, voice, meter, memory, scan. Just look at the top, okay? And it changes if you go into radio teletype mode. Let's change it. USB, now we go to radio teletype. Now, let's look at the menu. Look at what the third one says, decode. That wasn't there before. So you press decode, and now look what happens. You get a completely different screen. So this is to decode radio teletype. You're looking for two peaks, twin peaks, easy to remember. Remember, radio teletype, twin peaks, all right? So we're going to tune, and you can hear radio teletype too. Let's listen for some signals and watch the decoder decode. And you'll start to hear the signals coming in. There it is. The part down in the green is what the radio is hearing. And you just fine tune. It's all you're doing. You're just fine tuning it in, and you're hearing whatever signal is coming in on this. It's very, very unique sound. Let's try and listen. Oh, hold on. My noise reduction's on. Don't have your noise reduction on. Sorry. Just tons of radio teletype. Tons of it. You just hear it, just lots of it. And it goes up just to the voice portion today on 20 meters. It's just been fantastic. Just have to center it. And you see it's a little bit, there's an arrow at the bottom left corner. It tells you which way to turn the VFO so you hear it, so you center it. Once it gets centered, it should decode pretty well. And, you know, right now you're seeing some garbage there, but it does work. This really does work good. And what's cool about it is as you learn and use this feature of the radio, you all of a sudden start to hear some pretty cool things come in. That's a very strong one too. So, boy, that's strong. Okay, so there you go. You can see the screen decoding everything there. Here's a signal report, 59. And then they will go and make the next call. And it's just fascinating to watch them work, you know. And this is really part of one of the special things that radios do today that we could be grateful for, because they didn't do this 15 years ago. You'd go through like Ham Radio Deluxe or something like that to be able to make it work, right? FL Digi, something like that. This just does it right on board. And what's pretty cool is that if you want to, if you push the TX memory button on it, now you have 8 different TX calls you can make with the radio. You just customize them yourself. So for example, if I wanted to make my call this way, I would look at it and just transmit that. Brilliant. So if you go back here to TX memories and you hold it, get over here, edit. So you go in here and all of a sudden you just change everything. So you go to the very end and you just go backwards through everything here. So you're going to delete stuff. Okay. You're just going to kind of make everything go away. So you clear it and you just put your call sign in. That's it. So I would just go K and then 7 and then Hotel November and then do it again, so that they know K7. And I'm not a RTTY guy. I'm not. But here's what I would do. Enter it in, and there it is. So you have that. Okay. If you wanted to make the CQ call maybe here, you would just do the same thing, but you would say CQ, right? So you would clear everything out and just get rid of it all. Hold the clear button, and then you would just go CQ space CQ, and then use the DE, right? DE. Oops. DE, and then your call sign. Okay. And then give it a second time so that they would be able to hopefully, get one of them, because you can have fade in signals, and enter, right? There you go. And so then you've got it. Your call to CQ is already in there. And it's set to auto TX and RX. And you can change that too if you want to. If you just hold that down, there's a quick menu that pops up. And you can auto TX and RX. If you go down, you can clear it. You can edit the name of it. For example, if I want to edit the name, I'd edit the name. I would go over to the very end, clear everything out, and say, let's call it my CQ call. Okay? So let me go over here. Oops. CQ space and then call. And then enter. Come on, call. Okay, so we're just going to do that. Let's go my CQ call. All right. And that's good enough. We can just make it a call. CL. All right, enter. And there you go. You can see on the left side it says My CQ Call. How you do this is you go to the far right where it says Auto TX RX and just hold it in. Now, if you want to edit one of these, hold in on itself. See what I just did? I pressed on the main body. So the part that says here in blue, CQ, CQD, K7HN, K7HN, hold in on that, and then you can edit from there. If you want, let's say, for example, to change anything in that, you can do so by holding in on each one. And then it gives you a simple little thing that you follow through. RTTY is really easy to do if you can tune well, and if you want to pounce, you're finding signals, just have things set up. That way, like this one here, 3. Whoops, sorry. Don't want to do that. I am not trying to transmit here. Sorry about that. That was my fault. Should have known better than that. On this one here, we're going to hit edit. And number 3, right? Okay, we've got this already done. We don't need to change a single thing. See how it is? QSL, you're 599-599 back, and you're good. Okay, we can leave that alone. Let's see if he responded. I hope not. That was awful. No, good. Whew. Okay. So you can see he's saying CQ worldwide, and his call sign, Kilo Bravo 1 Oscar Uniform, Kilo Bravo 1 Oscar Uniform. Pretty cool. And that's how you do this. You simply just tune around, you find more signals as you go, and they're everywhere right now because CQ Worldwide RTTY is very popular. It's a popular contest for people to run. And just keep following that little area. It's so hard to show people the part of the screen you want them to see. There's an area below where it says main on the right side, below the second VFO where that meter is shaded now. Below where it says the frequency, you see a little red area. It says main, okay? Main. That, you want to keep that right in the center. You want it to, even if it kind of flickers a little bit, it's okay. Follow the little lines and get it so it'll center. more centered, the better, because you're centering in on the frequency itself. And that's what the radio's telling you. You're just a little off frequency. Try and tune on frequency. That's what makes this such a powerful product. Same with the 7300. Very easy to work. And one of my favorite parts is I'm not good at radio teletype at all, but by using just the screen and following the instructions, what it's showing me, I can do it. It's really pretty easy. Radio teletype, CQ Worldwide this weekend. Fun stuff to do. And Glenn will try and point the antenna your way, all right? We'll try. All right. Country Strong made sure to get it above my neighbor's roof. I live on the corner of an intersection, so the only one house I'll send you. Yeah, the thing is, Country Strong, I bet you're getting out the other direction. You might not be making calls that way, but if the antenna is up 20, 25 feet, you're going to be heard. A suggestion, just a suggestion, all right? What I would do is I would do this. I'll carry you along with me for the ride, okay? We're going to do this. Do a new screen. Hold on, give me a second. Here's what I would do, okay? I would go to this. Hold on. So I always keep my MUF map up when I'm working. So, okay, let's go to Kiwi SDR, right? And from here, Country Strong, you can pick whichever way you want. I'm not sure exactly where you live, but let's say, for example, you want to hear, you want to find a station to a certain direction to see if you can be heard. Don't make it 60 miles away. Go. If you're on 20 meters, especially, make it at least 1,000 miles away. All right. So if you want, say, for example, I'm going to guess you live in Georgia, right? Pick Colorado. Okay. I know it's going to be probably a little more than 1,000 miles away, but there it gives you 4 different choices. And these are at elevation, which is a big deal. This is a big deal. By the way, look at this one. It's actually on Earth. How about that? Yeah. Okay. So Fort Collins has got some good height. It's the home of WWV. And just click this, okay? All of a sudden, everything comes in. This is really important, okay? If you listen to this, right? Let's say, for example, I'm trying to go to a point where I can get back onto my screen. All right. Let's say, for example, you want to know if you can be heard. And that's always important to all of us, right? We want to make sure people can hear us because that's very important. All right. The big deal here is
good afternoon. My name is Dan.
there's the audio from the CQ, sorry, from the Kiwi SDR. We're going to change the frequency real quick, all right? So my suggestion is to do this, right? Let me get out of radio mode, pardon me.
But anyway, you've got a good signal here in the northeast Mississippi.
All right.
I'm doing some housework stuff around
And
here.
we were right about here.
If you need me, give me a holler. Whiskey America 5, Charlie, Yankee, Romeo. You're doing a good
So
job.
my suggestion, Country Strong,
Dan, I appreciate it, man. And yeah, it's nice to have you monitor the Maritime Mobile Service Net while you're doing some housework, catching up on a few chores.
so my suggestion is this. You see I've changed frequency to 14,293. This is about 1,000 miles away. All right. So I'm at 14,293.5. All right. Let's do this. We'll go over to the Kiwi SDR and go 14,293.5. All right. Enter that. Okay. Now we're in that frequency. Now let's listen to see if we can hear. If I'm going to transmit and say, is a frequency available? And I'm going to mute the mic. So you're going to hear directly off of the Kiwi SDR. Okay. Just a second.
Is the frequency available? This is Kilo 7 Hotel November.
All right. So what I just did was I just checked an SDR that's on the internet that's a little ways for me to see if I could be heard. That's exactly what I would do if I were you, because I bet you're being heard, but you're not hearing, people are not coming back to you. Check those directions, try it with a web SDR just like I showed, and see if you're being heard. That's the best way to check your antenna. And make sure that you're not stepping on anybody, you know that. and just find out. I bet you'll find you're actually making calls after all. Country Strong, give it a shot. Think it might help you. Think it might help you, bud. I have too many windows open. I'm losing my mind. Okay. Rodney, now hold on. The higher the legs, the more directional it becomes. Right. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. The higher the legs, the more directional it becomes a good thing because you're trying to make it directional. I hope. If you're doing a dipole, I wouldn't want an omnidirectional dipole. I would want to look at the place I want to work, put the legs up as high as I can, as close even to a flat top as I can, because I'm going to work two directions. That's what's the beauty of a dipole. Absolutely. And you know that, Rodney. I would do that with the dipole every time. With mine, I did. That's exactly how I built it. That's why it screamed into like New Zealand and Australia. That's why it did it. Makes a big difference. And thanks for all the work you guys are doing on the SDR today. Well, it's in the chat today. Appreciate that very much. Thank you guys. All right. I am going to, how to clear Larry. I will see you later, buddy. Have a good day. All right. 7300 does the same thing, Andy. Yes. Same thing for the RTTY. Same exact thing. And it works really well. Works really well. Country Strong, does anyone know if a 991A can decode? I'll take an hour to go through the manual, LOL. It has a CW decoder on it. It's not very good. That's the truth. Seriously, it's the truth. That's the one negative I have on Yaesu stuff. It's Morse code stuff. I've never really found to be helpful. But I didn't think it did good with that. But the Icoms do phenomenal with this. Yeah. 7300 just does very well with it. So does the 7610. Does very well. RTTY, same rules, same stuff. All right. Topic question today is, what's been one of your greatest accomplishments in radio? We've got just a few minutes left. I'm going to try and change the antenna just a little bit. So what I'm going to do something kind of fun. We're going to listen on the radio, and we're going to see signals kind of go maybe a little light. Let's tune to a signal. It's working right now. This gives me time to go downstairs and change the antenna. Hold on. Well, Rodney, we can agree to disagree on that. We can. I mean, he says if it's the only antenna, then I hope he prefers Omni. Remember, you're assuming in this, Rodney, you're assuming it's that he's going to build it omnidirectionally. Even a dipole with legs down does not omnidirectional. And you know it doesn't. So, it's more omnidirectional, less broadside, no question. But man, while you got the antenna, get the gain the way you want it to. Turn it the direction you want it to be. Get the antenna legs up high and let the antenna work the way it was designed. Broadside. That's just my opinion. We could always agree to disagree and be buddies, right? Yeah. Yeah. Every dipole I've ever put up, I've always put up to make sure I work the way I wanted to go. Okay, give me a second. Just turn the antenna. We're going to turn to the southwest to try and see if we can make a call with Glenn in Australia, and we'll close the show. Hang on.
In very, very garbled and continuous interference. I think it might be a loose microphone wire. Over. Again, I'm a dupe. Just wanted to advise. I'll try to capture audio for playback if desired, but it's pretty fierce. It sounds like you're dragging hand mic across the top of the desk with every transmission. Good luck with troubleshooting. I enjoyed the earlier contact. November 7, Mike Zulu Whiskey, Wyoming.
Roger. I've been moving around maybe too much. How does it sound now?
Well, I'm still picking it up. It's not quite as many bumps, but way, way too much RF around the edges. Try to stay still and give me a 3 count. Count to 5 or something without moving. Try to keep your head still if you're wearing a headset or whatever. Go ahead.
This is W3BN operator change. How do we sound now? Go ahead.
Yeah, you're 2.5. Did you change rigs or are you just stationary?
No, we're stationary. Inexperienced on this side here, just as to where things are. Let me work you. Did we work you, or did he get you already?
Yeah, I'm a Duke from earlier. I don't remember the op. I'll give you the call just to make sure. November 7, Mike Zulu Whiskey. Yeah, it just sound like hot mic settings with somebody dragging the coiled hand mic across the edge of the desk or something, but rather pronounced, making copy difficult. You're Q5, however, understand.
Thank you. We got you there. What is your It's okay.
Yeah, Chuck in Laramie County from the capital of Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Roger that, Chuck. Yeah, no problem at all.
Okay, sorry it took so long. It's I'm also washing the clothes today. Sorry. All right, so we're pointing southwest towards Australia.
That was taken in the...
Let me see if we can find an open spot. And Glenn, you have to let me know if this frequency is open. We'll try 287 even. So we'll try 14287, Glenn. Okay, 14287. Oh, let me step on somebody there. Hold on. 14286. Looks clear here, Glenn. Okay, so 14286 looks to be a clear frequency to me. Not sure what it's like in Australia, okay? So, Glenn Stevenson, get back to me. Let me know if this area here down in Australia is good. And we will try and make it work, okay? So, 14286, Glenn, if you're there, we'll try. Okay, this is the opposite direction that I was going to do the show with, but we'll give it a shot for Australia. Is the frequency in use? This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. And the last time when I showed you split screen, tried to show you the power output of the amplifier, just about 400 or 500 watts. Checking frequency availability, this is Kilo 7 Hotel November. And quite honestly...
it's been clear for a while, Larry. Go ahead. In 7MZW, Wyoming.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. CQ from Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November calling CQ. CQ from Oregon. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November calling CQ. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilowatt 7 Hotel November calling CQ on 20 and listening.
I'll give you a quick contact, Larry. I'm a deacon, and I'm headed to help somebody out that has a family emergency. My call, November 7, Mike, Zulu Whiskey, and 7MZW. You're 59 in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Wow, it's coming off the back of the beam. Definitely. I'll take it. That's a great call. Thank you. And I'm honored to work someone in Wyoming. Thank you so much. What equipment are you using there? Over?
It's a modest apartment QTH. I'm Wyoming's most active low-power contester for the last 31 years. 7300 barefoot Heil Pro micro headset on box with a little compression and a modified ZS6 BKW flat top. I shortened the 450 ohm window line matching section by almost 11 3/4 inches. So it would be flat on 40 where I call it traffic net. It's a flat top up about 45 feet above the QTH running north-south. My elevation here in Laramie County is 6,053 feet.
Thank you very much, man. That's beautiful. I'm actually working off of the BuddiHex antenna. It's about 25 feet high here in Oregon, and I'm pointed towards the southwest. So I thank you very, very much. It's really, really nice to meet you. I was just fascinated by, 70 years in contesting?
No, negative. 33. I've been licensed since 1989, about 33 years now.
That's pretty cool. Well, thank you. That was very nice of you to check the frequency and let me know. Because from this end, I just want to make sure it's okay. A gentleman in Australia wanted to see if we can make a call on a YouTube channel that I do right now. So I want to thank you sincerely for that. By the way, if you want to hear your call, you sound great. You can hear it on YouTube at Ham Radio Live. It's Ham Radio Live. November 7, Mike Zulu Whiskey. This has been my honor. God bless you, brother, from Kilo 7 Hotel November.
Okay, have that info, and we may have time to check it before we head out the door here. Like many or most deacons, one would hope, hi, widows, and I cut the grass and shovel their sidewalks. And anyway, someone needs to depart for a family emergency, and I want to go get their keys so I can check their mail and water the house plants and either mow the lawn or shovel snow, depending on what happens here in the next few days in Wyoming High. So 73, deacon for about 33 years here at a little Baptist church in Cheyenne. Father in 7J, Chuck Sr., also deacon and paternal grandfather. And anyway, doing what we can when we're not on the radio there. 7-3, God bless, Larry. Kilo 7 Hotel November in Oregon, Polk County. November 7, many zebras walking in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Good evening.
Thank you, Charles. That's great. I love it. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November, QRZ. All right, so looking at the MUF map here, right now Australia just waking up right about, let's see, where Glenn's at 19 megahertz, and that would really lead us to go down to 18. We want to go to a frequency that's just below the MUF where he's at. So Glenn, I'm at 18.165 megahertz if you're still here. That's where I'm at. We'll see if you can hear us, and hopefully we can make a call. Okay, just a second. Is the frequency in use? This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. And now you're hearing a little bit of the signal coming over because it's kind of going over part of the house here. So again, we're pointed southwest. So this is into the Pacific Ocean, beaming towards New Zealand, Australia, Hawaii, Samoa, some nice warm places. CQ from Kilo 7 Hotel November, Kilo 7 Hotel November, calling CQ. CQ, any station, anywhere. From Oregon, this is Kilo 7 Hotel November, calling CQ and listening. Okay, and we're going to do that same thing, just a second, just to help you guys. This is kind of off the show plan here. My show notes, I'm totally off of that now. So let's listen in Hawaii. Let's see if we can hear the signal. Okay, so this will be the same thing, Country Strong, that I do, and it will work every time. Okay, all you got to do is be able to spell Hawaii. It's amazing. And then enter. So we're going to see if we can be heard. This is the Big Island. The top one is Maui. Bottom one is Big Island. We're going to do the Big Island. Usually easier accessible one. So we're at 18.165. So we'll type in the frequency, 18.165. And sorry, no point. Don't put a decimal. 18.165. Enter. All right. So I'll get you the signal. We're just going to do the same thing. You won't hear the mic here. You're just going to hear the signal from Hawaii. So this is if you were listening on a radio in Hawaii. Let's see if we can hear the signal from Oregon there. Hang on. Okay, it's pretty light, right? Pretty light in Hawaii. So, but we know it can be heard, right? So just back up and let's go to New Zealand. Let's see if we can be heard in New Zealand. Oh, typing too fast, sorry. Goodness sakes there. There we go. All right. So we're going to listen out of New Zealand here and see if we can be heard from there. And same frequency, so we're going to be at 18.165. All right. So we're going to do the same thing. I'll mute the mic. We'll see if it can be heard in New Zealand. Okay, so into right now New Zealand can't be heard. So let's go now to Australia. And this will be close to Glenn, so I want to be fairly close to him as I can. So I'm going to find the one that I want, which is right here. Sorry to pick the wrong one. I wanted Sydney. So right here. It's the same process. We're just going to do the same thing. And I'll mute the mic so you can hear basically the signal. Go back on frequency. So there, make sure you're using the proper sideband, right? So you want to use the proper sideband. Let me mute my mic. We'll see if we can hear it into Australia at this point. It'll be iffy. It'll be iffy. Here we go. Kilo 7 Hotel November, microphone back to you. Whiskey Alpha 7, Oscar Papa. Good to meet you. My name is Larry Lima Alpha, Romeo Yankee. QTH here is Independence, Oregon. I'll give you a signal report on the way back. Over.
QSL, Larry. Good to hear from you. I'm a subscriber to your channel, and I'm watching you now. So this is Scott is the handle, and your price line in Peoria, Arizona. Back to you.
All right, mate, thank you. I've got you here at about a 51, 5x1. It's just I'm turned the other way. I'm not turning your direction, but still I can hear everything you're saying. There's no question about that. It's really nice to meet you, and thanks for watching the channel, too. That you just made my day, mate. Thank you very much.
Okay, Larry, thank you. And 73, Whiskey Alpha 7, Oscar Papa, QRG.
Thank you, Scott. Enjoy your day in Arizona, man. Send us some warm weather. We could use some, my friend. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November QRZ. Good. We'll clear at that point. How long are we? We're doing an hour and 46 minutes. Hold on. Let me just clean up the housework here. All right. So that was 18165. We're going to make sure and change this. And we'll just do 18.165. I like to log every call. I do. It's nice to do that. And 51. Oh, other way around. There we go. And 51. Because he's really off the side of the beam. All right. There we go. And that's and thank you for listening to the channel, by the way. That is Scott Hawley in Peoria, Arizona. Beautiful part of the Phoenix area. You got a couple of nice baseball teams for spring training there, too. Scott, thank you for being a part of Ham Radio Live today. I appreciate it. That's very nice. Oh man, he's got an Aircraft KX3 fully stuffed. He's got all the filters in it. That's amazing. This is such a great hobby to be a part of. It really is. Guys, I normally have the trivia questions and all that stuff. We're an hour and 47 in because we had some questions. I will always stop the show to try and help you with questions that I can answer. If I can't answer it, I'll tell you. You know, it's the truth. And the advice I gave to you, Country Strong, is really good. Listen on some Kiwi SDRs or the web SDRs that are nearby and see if you can make the calls that way. And he's still waiting for trivia, bless his heart. Yep. Fernando, welcome back. It's really nice to have you. Thank you so much for coming back. Nice to have you. Thank you for being here. Really good stuff. Yeah. Appreciate that very much. Let's see. All right, guys, I think we're both, and geez, you heard me in S1 in all the way in, wow, that's a great call. I'm very grateful for that. Yeah. I'm glad I'm not the only one who types that slowly or bad. I do lots of those mistakes. Yeah. Tonto Emeritus, welcome. Nice to have you. He says, I can hear you at 20 meters, Wyoming contact. Indy can't hear you, Larry. God bless. God bless you too, Tonto. Thanks, man. Thank you. God bless you too, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Aaron, today isn't my day. Migraine coming on. We're gonna, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna close the show, guys. We'll have your trivia and all that stuff the next time, the critics and all that stuff. I like to help people here, and that's the main purpose of this channel. It's always been that way. it's always tried to be interactive. Not always. Probably about, I'd say, 130 shows every time you figured something out here, you know.
Well, thanks, Larry. We'd have a penny for your thoughts, but I'm broke.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I don't mean to stretch it out. You know, when somebody asks an important question like that, my antenna is, radiating one way, but not the other. As dipoles do that, they're supposed to do that, broadside from the wire. You got to ask the question, well, what's wrong then, right? If it's working one direction, it's got to be working the other. Check it out on a web SDR. Or better yet, if you want to, it's a really good way to hear how far you're being heard too. Just check an SDR, give yourself some distance, right? If you're, for example, if you're on 40 meters right now, we're at 2:13 p.m. here in the West Coast. 40 meters maybe get you 600 miles. Let me show you. Let's make this, at least the last part, educational for hopefully all of us. So we'll go to 40 real quick. Okay, so I'm going to go down to 40, and I'm going to switch antennas. So 40 meters, because the D layer attenuates most of the signals at 40 meters, right? So when we go up here onto 40, we're not going to be heard as far. Have reasonable expectations when you do this, okay? Like if you're trying to transmit, for example, let's say, for example, you're trying to transmit and on 40 meters daytime and you're listening 1,000 miles away, you're not going to hear yourself most likely. You just won't. It's because the radio, the ionosphere takes most of the signal and gobbles it up. So if you're going to go this far, make sure that instead what you do is you go to a web SDR, let's say that's maybe 500 or 600 miles away, okay? This is like daytime frequencies. 40 probably be the best frequency to do it with. I wouldn't go to 80 because it's going to be even shorter than this. But we'll go California, we'll go out of the SDR out of Northern California. This puts us right about 400 to 500 miles away, and we're not going to use the amplifier. We're just going to run barefoot on this. So we'll go 100 watts. You can see on the radio, I just put this to 100 watts, and I'm going to go down to 12. We'll go to 13. So 7213, we're going to open this up and we'll go to 7213 on the web SDR, 7213, and enter. And we're pointed south enough that this should pick us up. So let me just quickly one more time get this up because I want to show you just how to do this and do it right. So just a second here, okay? Let me, where's my sound? Second, sorry. Where is my sound? Where's my audio from this thing? It's not there. That is weird. Haven't had that happen before. That's the first time it's ever happened where you don't hear the audio from the radio. See, I'm trying to let you hear from here. Oh, wait, hold on. Now we should be able to do it. Give me a second. Sorry about that. Yeah, now I can do it. Just give me a moment. I'm trying to do something on the fly here, okay? So this is out of Northern California, okay? We're going to match frequencies. 7213, same as on the radio. Let's see if you can hear the call. Now you can hear me? Sorry about that. Sorry, we're doing a lot of stuff I don't normally do on this channel, so sorry about that. Most likely that's a D-layer absorption issue, because usually I can hear myself in California. Okay, so this part, this global delayer thing, this is what the delayer is doing to frequencies. You can see on the right, the frequency bar starts at 0 and goes up 5, 10, 15, 20, and so forth. So I'm on the 40 meter band, which right now at that point was attenuated 5 dB. That is a lot of signal being attenuated right there. So that probably is what happened and made it be difficult for us to be able to be able to let you hear me in the state of California. But it's a great way to check your radio. Just run off a WebSDR and find how it radiates. And Country Strong, if it's certain direction, listen that direction, because you got your broadside antenna that way. You can also hear yourself off the edges too, but you're not going to hear yourself as strong. That's all. Have fun. Enjoy your radio. All right, guys, we're going to close the show. Great day to use your radio. Good conditions. The sun is really cooperating. We've got excellent solar conditions. The only fly in the ointment right now is our noise floors. Little high today, but you should make some wonderful calls. My name's Larry. My call sign, Amateur Radio's Kilo 7 Hotel November. God bless you wherever you may be in this world. Thanks for watching Ham Radio Live. I know you have places to go, things to do, different YouTube channels that make content, and a life. I get that. I thank you for letting me be part of your life today. Thanks for allowing me into your home and into your life. It's been my honor and privilege. Till we meet again, God bless you. And goodbye, everybody. Thanks for coming today to the show.
Give him the man. Give him the man. Go ahead. We're ready. Go. Whoa. Hey, KTNQ Los Angeles, the new 10Q Chuck routing. It's 5 o'clock. Can you dig it? All right.
Boss Chuck also. Listen, it's really good to see you, man.
It's good to see you, Rich.
I know it's
been
good.
in touch with yourself.
I've been in touch with recently, as a matter of fact. I got a machine to do it now.
It works.
It works. All right, is it my turn?
Sure it is.
All right, well, we're going to get a horn. Pick it up and blow it.
Baby, I got it.
It is 5:30 here at the new 10Q. I am Rich Brother Robin. We are going to race some cane around here tonight, baby. We have been already, but we're just getting started. Get down! Oh, let's hear it for the boys in the band, baby. All right. Yeah, get down.
Listen to my friends.
I didn't get to say goodbye, man.
KTNQ. You got it? Los Angeles, the new 10Q. It's 6:02. And this is John M. Driscoll. And this is America.
Well, when I met you at the station, you were standing with a bootleg in your hand.
I'd like to say a pleasant hello before anything else. Is that all right? Are you through now?
I am through, but real, you're working the mic too close.
Why?
I'll give you a little tip.
Yeah?
Ask me how far you should work from it.
How far? Oh, tell me, John, how far should I work from the mic?
You got a car?
Gina Delgado is alive! Alive!
What controls this record? What controls? All the guys out there in the spirit of the season, do not worry about your job security. Yet.
Anytime.
I'm ready.
Anytime, Real Don.
Can I blow it?
You may blow your whistle. I gotta tell you, the Real Don Steele has got to be the greatest disc jockey in the whole wide world. This is Beaver Cleaver, and I just want to say, Real, you are indeed the Sandy Koufax of radio. And who? What do you mean? Aren't you Jewish? Sandy Koufax. And Real Don and I
look like a baseball player.
worked together at another radio station in Los Angeles, and that was 2 years ago. And the last thing
about the nude scene.
The last thing that I ever said on that station was, "See you tomorrow." All right, my beaver shot hit it. KTNQ Los Angeles. Boy, it's sure good to say Los Angeles, man. And finally, I've made it to a real live, legitimate radio station with my voice, Beaver Cleaver, on the new